So today's a special day, and it is the first day that I finished my 40-day fast. So my 40-day Daniel fast ended yesterday. And, um, when you do this fast, you're very limited on what you can eat. So I'd been eating a lot of beans and onions and lentils and just all sorts of vegetables and fruit, but I wasn't using any seasoning. Well, for the first 5 days, I was using a tiny bit of salt, but I felt kind of convicted. And then my husband was like, I'm really feeling like you're supposed to not use any seasoning. So I nixed that, and I've been eating everything just as it is with nothing, no oil, no salt, nothing, um, just using everything natural from the earth. And so I also didn't eat any uh, potatoes because I love potatoes too much. I feel like, the Daniel fast, there's many different ways people have done it, but I was convicted to do it this way. And if you are led to do it, then you'll be convicted to do the way that God's leading you to do for what he needs to do in your life. So don't shy away from things that seem hard or something that you don't think you can do, because God knows you better than everyone else. And he knows that he knows what you need. He knows what you need to shed. And there's basically, like, honestly, if you get to that point where you really want to serve God, you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm just going to do what you say, because if this is a lesson that you're trying to teach me, I should learn it now and not suffer, because the lessons it'll keep coming until we get it. So if he's challenging you to do something, and only if he is, I'm not trying to bully you or manipulate you into doing this. But anyway, so I was convicted not to use any seasoning, because during this fast, God is supposed to be my satisfaction, and I need to be content in having food on my belly, no matter what it is. My many lessons that I'll have another. I'll turn the camera on again when I want to explain that. But so this one meal I've been making almost every day for the past like 15 days is black beans. Well, first I cook up my onions in a pan, just dry, because no oil, no butter, nothing. Because you can't have dairy, no cheese, no milk, no nothing, no meat, no eggs, just nothing delicious, no sugar, no desserts, no nothing, no bread. Honestly, after a while, that stuff gets very old and bland and boring. So I basically would dice up my onions, throw them in the pan, just cook them until they turn brown, and they will cook. You don't need oil. You just gotta watch it. And then I'd cut up some garlic, throw that in at the right time, and then I'd put the beans in, and then throw some corn in. And make sure, if you're using canned beans, if you're doing it this way, if you're led to do it this way, to make sure that there's no salt added. So it's just beans and water. So one of the lessons that I learned during this fast is how important it is to be salt. As believers, we're called to be the salt of the earth. And when we have no salt, there's no flavor, and everything's just boring, and we make no impact. We're just mushiness in people's mouths, and there's nothing inviting. Oh, there's a madhouse here. Hold on. Daycare today. I'll still talk, it doesn't matter. Hey, sweetheart. Anyway, so this is gonna be my first time eating it with salt. So, of course, the kids are coming with their loud, noisy toys. But so I'm about to make my one of my Daniel meals with salt, to see how different it is before and after. And I feel like it's just gonna bring. You guys are so loud. Bring home the point of being the salt and how much it changes things. So I'm gonna go make that. Okay, guys, so I have my uh, most common Daniel meal that I made because it's just easy. And like I said, there's no oil, no salt, no seasoning, no nothing. It just is what it is. So I'm gonna taste it again. My fast ended yesterday. 40 days. For about 35 days, I did no seasoning. I didn't come up with this meal until like later on, but I'm curious to see how different it tastes if I can just add a little. So I'm gonna taste it. I topped it with an avocado. It's just onion, garlic, black beans, and sweet corn. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's not that it's bad. It's just that every meal that I ate was like, you know, subpar. And you'd think you'd be fine with it, but after a while, every day, like smelling all the delicious smells, because part of the spiritual discipline is not having the people around you change because the world's not kind. The best place to practice spiritual discipline is in your home, around people you can't get away from. And so I told them, don't change anything. Eat all the yummy things you want. Don't hold back because I'm here. Actually, it's even better if you continue, because then it's going to strengthen me to learn how to say no to something that I wanted. Like, I can't even tell you. You could probably imagine, but you can't know until you do it. So I highly recommend this for people who are at that point in their spiritual growth where you just want to take it a step further. You really want to find out what you've learned. You really want to find out if you are becoming spiritually strong. The only way to know is to be in a real situation, to really put your feelings and your emotions to the test. Like, do they rule you? Do your human fleshly desires rule you? In a really good way to keep that at bay and kill the flesh is to fast. There's so many different benefits to fasting, and I'm still learning them. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm no guru in fasting. I'm literally new to this. I just got desperate in my walk, and life is not easy, and it's just like hurricane after hurricane, and all these feelings that are being shaken up in me. It's been a roller coaster of just emotion and growth, and just spiritual attack, and understanding my part in all of it, because we're all responsible for ourselves, right? So that was just a reminder for me, so I can compare. So this is how it was made, this little Daniel meal. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, just to, I was just gonna I'm not jumping back into eating all the food, because I don't want to put my body in shock. So I'm gonna ease my body back and add like one thing, like maybe add like dairy back a couple days, and then maybe add bread back, and then just slowly add meat, like just slowly add the things back in my diet. And I'm wondering like what's gonna change. Like, I don't know. It's been so beneficial in ways that I wouldn't have imagined, but here we go. I'll be like Salt Bae. I don't know how to do that. Like, can you see it? I don't even think you can see. You can see. See the salt. Ooh, let's see how different this meal tastes. Okay, guys. Moment of truth. Let's see what's up. I don't know if I added enough. It was a really little bit, but maybe I'll add more because it's time. Okay. Oh my goodness. That was such a small amount of salt in this little spoonful, but
It's night and day. Just a small bit of salt. I'm gonna add a little bit more because it really wasn't a lot. Oh my goodness, let me mix it up. Let me get some avocado, some salt in the avocado. Let's see how it is. Why does God tell us we're the salt of the earth? I feel like I understood that, but after having no seasoning and no flavor for such a long period of time, I feel like I understand that on a really, really deep level now. I would not have understood that if I had not um, taken a step to um, do a prolonged time with that. This is good. Of course, I'd want to add some other things. I can make this southwestern, add some cumin, add some other stuff. My brain went dead. I'm just like, my brain kind of stopped for a second because I'm just like, it's so different. It's so different. What in the world? Wow. I feel like I'm eating for the first time again. This is a blessing in disguise. um, hmm. Like, I would legit make this for a meal now. I did it out of necessity. I did so many things out of necessity because of the Daniel fast and how limited the diet is. But I feel like it might have changed. I can't be for sure, but I'm feeling like there's a lot of dietary changes I didn't really appreciate. Oh, that I'm going to be doing, that I was forced to do, that I have appreciation for now. Eating healthier, eating cleaner, um, not indulging too much, because that can be a stronghold. And we don't think about that. We're willing to give up all the other things, but ask a believer to give their food. Watch what happens. It's funny. No, I want that snack. I want that. But trust me, I'm talking to myself because let me tell you something, friends. This girl loves to eat. But I don't know, my eyes have been open to a lot of things. A lot of things through this. I'm not going to talk about them in this video because I'm babysitting today and I don't it's not something that I want to talk about and be interrupted. But kids are on a little break and so I have a break. So I'm finally eating this is my breakfast, but it's technically like lunchtime now, so I'm so hungry. I've been waiting for this day. Mm. Mm. Wow. I'm so thankful. Mm. Let me read the Old Testament. Something I was thinking about through this. It's so funny to read about the Israelites and be like, oh, they're so dumb. Why they keep messing up? Like, why do they keep messing up? Everyone who reads the story, we think that we would be the hero in the story, but the point of those stories is to show us the state of our hearts as people. We are so corrupt and evil, and we need God so much, and God just wants our obedience and our love. And He's so patient, and He provides. He gives us what we need, not what we want. You know, when the Israelites were in the desert, He provided manna every day. They never went hungry. They got tired of eating manna, but they never went hungry. It really makes you stop and wonder who you'd be in the story. And I know I would have been right along with them, saying, I'm tired of eating this manna. It's so funny, our emotions. We get tired of stuff, and then that overshadows the blessing. And then when you allow an ungrateful spirit to enter in, you curse yourself because it blocks all of God's blessings. You don't see anything anymore. All you could see is yourself, and your flesh, and what your flesh is desiring, what human desires and just cravings are. And we get so angry, and the more we get angry, the more it opens the door for other unclean spirits to enter in and start nagging, and it just brings so much bad stuff. So I understand what my place would be in that story. So I never preach at people. I'm always talking to you about stuff that God convicts me about. So it goes through me first, and then I'll share with you in hopes that maybe you'll gain something from my journey and what I'm learning and my failures and wins and things like that. So I'm going to have another video to talk more about all the things that I learned during this 40-day Daniel fast that the Holy Spirit led me to do. And I'm very thankful that He gave me the strength to get through it. I didn't think I could do it. I would have never guessed that I would have done this because, again, I love eating. And, I guess maybe that was a stronghold in my life I didn't know about. And God knows, and He loves us enough not to let us stay where we are, but to push us to greater heights and push us outside of the box that we put on ourselves. But God doesn't have a box around Him. You got to remember that. He knows everything. He sees all. We can't hide anything from Him. And that's a good thing because He knows where to go to. So let Him go there. Let Him go there. The faster you give in and let Him go there, the faster you'll experience freedom. And I'm feeling hopeful right now. I fasted against generational family curses and sins, and healing in lots of different areas, protection, my marriage, healing broken relationships. I wanted to hear from God, know His voice. I wanted to understand Him, have deeper understanding of the Word and all this stuff. And I just wanted to be stronger in my faith. So definitely those things happened. And stuff doesn't happen like it just happens. It's like something shifts. And it's a miracle because you see where it wouldn't have happened unless that spiritual exchange happened. It's an exchange. Like we, give something of ourselves and God gives something back. It's an exchange. So when we're ready to surrender, it's all in surrender. When we're ready to give it to God as part of the exchange, like literally giving it to Him, He will give back. And you'll see something. It may be small, but something will shift. You'll hear someone say something that they never would have said before. And you'll understand something that you didn't understand before. And there's sometimes the shifts are so small, people who are doing fast for the wrong reasons will miss the miracle. They'll miss the miracle, and they'll miss the door for breakthrough. Because the door for breakthrough will open up. But again, it's an exchange. You have to walk in order to get into what that door is. So right now, it's only been one day, and just to be private, something happened last night that was odd, and I see where the door has been opened, and so I'm gonna step into it and see where God leads. I know it's a result of just surrender and doing this fast and breaking these strongholds. So anyway, I'm ending this video now because I'm about to go ham on this Daniel meal that once was bland and was making me sad. Now it tastes good. We are the salt of the earth. I really understand that now. Things need salt. If you're a believer, you need salt. Otherwise, you're useless. And I'm useless. So I want to make a difference in this world. I want to step into the power of Christ. I want to be a light. I don't want to be hiding myself. And I want to be willing to take whatever consequences that means for me as a believer, because I'm not living for this world, I'm living for after. So that's that. Thank you for watching me eat this. And I'll put out another video soon.